Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are unpacking a really frustrating paradox that honestly so many of us face. You know the feeling, right? You have these massive dreams, you can clearly see yourself succeeding, and you can imagine the exact life you want. It feels almost real. But then, when it actually comes time to sit down and do the hard work, you completely freeze. You wait. You tell yourself, okay, tomorrow. Tomorrow will for sure be different. And then tomorrow comes, and well, you do the exact same thing all over again. It's incredibly painful to know deep down that you are capable of so much more, yet you just can't seem to take any real action.
So, why are you ambitious but lazy? Let's dive right into this question, because I know it literally haunts so many dreamers who just feel completely stuck in place. Why are we like this? Why do we have these towering ambitions, but then act out habits that from the outside look like pure laziness? Section 1. Ambitious but stuck? You are not alone.
First off, I really want to validate what you're experiencing right now. You aren't alone in this, and honestly, it is not a flaw in your character. Just look at how a typical day slips away for so many of us. We've all lived this exact timeline. In the morning, you wake up with the absolute best intentions. You think, today is the day. Today, I'm finally starting that project. But then, noon rolls around. You check your phone for just a minute, and suddenly that minute turns into an hour of mindless scrolling. You promised yourself you'll start right after lunch, but then you feel kind of tired, so you push it to tomorrow. And finally, night falls. You're lying in bed, staring up at the ceiling, feeling this overwhelming sense of guilt and disappointment. You literally went from pure intent to total distraction and ended your day in deep regret.
Okay, we need to completely strip away that guilt right now and redefine this behavior. Lazy is not who you are. Lazy is just what you've been doing. It's simply a habit of avoidance. Who you are at your core is someone with real dreams and potential. What you've been doing, though, is just avoiding discomfort.
Section 2. Survival Mode, the Inner Conflict.
You're basically living in a constant state of biological tug-of-war. On one side, you have the visionary part of you. This is the part that wants to achieve great things, set huge goals, and imagine success. But on the other side, there's this primitive part of your brain that wants absolutely nothing more than to avoid discomfort, seek safety, and protect you from hard work or potential failure. And right now, well, the primitive part that craves comfort is totally winning the tug-of-war. And here is exactly how that part of your brain operates. It literally wires itself into a dopamine loop. First, when you think about your big, scary goals, your brain actually sees that effort and uncertainty as a literal threat. It hates the possibility of failure. Second, to quote-unquote protect you from this threat, it offers you an easier option, like scrolling on your phone or playing a quick game. Third, the second you take that easy option, your brain rewards you with a massive hit of dopamine. Poof, the discomfort vanishes. Finally, your brain learns a very dangerous lesson. Avoiding your goals feels really good. It thinks it's protecting you, but actually, it's just stealing your long-term happiness and trapping you in an endless loop.
Section 3. Perfectionism, disguised as excellence. Now, this is the next massive roadblock keeping you paralyzed. Waiting for the perfect plan or those ideal conditions? That isn't about having high standards. Actually, scratch that. Perfectionism is actually just fear disguised as excellence. It's this incredibly clever excuse your brain feeds you to never start. Because, think about it, if you never start, you can never fail. If you just stay in the fantasy phase, you protect your ego. You get to keep believing that you could succeed if you really tried. It's a defense mechanism, plain and simple, keeping you from ever testing your dreams in the real world.
Which brings us to this incredibly powerful quote drawn directly from our source material. Failure is not the opposite of success. Inaction is. We absolutely have to reframe how we view failure. When you fail, you actually learn something, right? You gather data. But when you do nothing, you guarantee that you learn absolutely nothing. Inaction is the true enemy of your ambition.
Think about the people you really look up to. Every single successful person you admire has failed more times than you've even tried. That is literally the only difference between you and them. They didn't sit around waiting to feel perfectly ready. They took messy, imperfect action. They stumbled. They probably looked foolish a bunch of times, but they kept moving. They built their momentum through consistency, not by waiting for some flawless, magical launch.
Section 4. Systems over motivation, building true discipline.
So, how do we actually fix this? First things first, we have to ditch the great myth of motivation. Look at motivation for what it is. It's just a feeling, and feelings are incredibly unreliable. They come and they go. You simply cannot build your life on a temporary feeling.
Instead, we need to focus on discipline. And hey, discipline isn't some magical genetic trait you're just born with. It is structure and systems built one small decision at a time. Relying on structured discipline is how you actually cross that bridge between your ambition and reality.
The absolute core of this discipline is environmental design. Successful people do not magically have way more willpower than you do. No way. They just have much better systems. They design their environments to completely remove temptation. If you really want to take action, turn off your notifications. Put your phone in entirely another room. Clean your desk so you don't feel totally scattered. Set a specific sacred block of time for focused work. You've got to set up your life so that the default action is the productive action.
And this is absolutely crucial, because every single time you remove a distraction, you're removing a decision. Willpower is a finite resource. If you constantly have to choose between working and glancing at your glowing phone 50 times an hour, eventually you're going to lose that battle. Protecting your workspace literally conserves your mental energy for the hard work that actually matters to your future.
Section 5. Start small and just show up.
Okay, here is your real-world call to action to break this cycle today. Step 1. Accept the hard truth. You are not going to feel like doing it. Your brain is going to fight you, and you just have to do the work anyway. Step 2. Pick one small thing. Don't try to revamp your entire life overnight. Just pick one 15-minute task that moves you forward. Step 3. Expect a terrible first draft. Your first attempt is going to be bad, and you know what? That is completely normal. And Step 4. Practice self-compassion. Progress is never a straight line. When you inevitably mess up or skip a day, don't retreat back into that guilt. Forgive yourself quickly, drop the shame, and just start again.
And now, time for some necessary tough love directly from our source material. You need to stop consuming quite so much content about success. Reading articles, listening to podcasts, and watching explainers just like this one, it can really feel like progress. But right now, it's just another form of avoidance. Your brain is totally tricking you into thinking that learning is the exact same thing as doing. It's not. You already know what you need to do. So when this explainer ends, close it. Don't click on another one. Go do one single thing that actually moves you forward.
Just remember, every single masterpiece starts out as a really rough draft. Every expert was once a complete beginner. You aren't trying to be great right now. You're just trying to build a habit of showing up. Quality will naturally come later, for sure, but consistency absolutely has to come first.
So, we've uncovered the deep psychology behind why you've been so stuck, and we've laid out the exact blueprint for how to break free. You are absolutely capable of so much more than you've shown yourself so far. But remember, nobody is coming to save you from yourself. You are the only one who can change your patterns. So, I'll leave you with this final vital question to think about. Are you ready to stop dreaming and actually start building? The choice is entirely yours. Now, go take that first step.